Why can't every day be like this? No Simple Road. Yeah, no, I've been on that road too.
You're absolutely right. It has been weird for quite some time, but you know what?
It gets weirder.
It's getting weirder and weirder and weirder as we go. I saw I don't know what, a meme or whatever, and it was just somebody had typed and they were like, I'd like to return my free trial of 2025. The first 7 days have not been good, and I don't want it anymore.
If this is how it's going to be, I'll go back.
Return to sender.
Yeah, man. Hey now, No Simple Road family. Welcome to the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind, brought to you in collaboration with our friends from Mel.
Where?
The Grateful Mountain.
What? The Grateful Mountain.
That's right. The Grateful Mountain.
They are back.
This is true. Well, they are back. They're new.
Well, they're back because from last week.
That. They are selling tie-dye gear inspired by nature and driven by the Grateful Dead. Get it? Grateful Mountain.
And this is custom stuff.
Yeah.
Of course there's stuff on the website, but it's custom. You can be like, you know what? I want 28, 30 Dickies with purple, brown, and orange. And you know what? You'll get it.
I want dope painter overalls that are all black, green, and
yellow,
orange.
Boom.
Tie-dye. You got it. Grateful Mountain does that.
I'm having a hard time finding these in my size.
Ooh.
Can I commission you to make a pair for me?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Whether you are gearing up for a festival run or, I don't know, space travel.
Or the winter.
Or the winter. They got
Or
the
just
gear to help
hanging
you.
out and looking cool around the fucking house.
That's
Totally.
right. Do your thing, man. Go to at the Grateful Mountain on Instagram. You can DM Travis over there for special requests. They are giving the No Simple Road free shipping, all orders in the U.S. and 20% off. Man, with the promo code NSR20.
NSR20 to get 20% off your custom tie-dye desires.
Look, there's a lot of tie-dye purveyors out there right now. And we partner with people that we love.
Our homies.
And that do dope shit. And this is really amazing tie-dye. And like we said, he'll do what you ask if custom orders. And that's just cool. So go check it out. And he's sponsoring the show. So he's helping you hear No Simple Road, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of cool.
Yeah. Pounds of cool coming from the Grateful Mountain. So anyhow, back to the beginning of the year.
I don't want to go back there.
We have to. That's what we're doing.
I mean, we're
now.
still here and I don't want to go back.
You know, I had a moment today trying to decide if we were going to even do a weekly rewind. So much of the No Simple Road family and our listener base is based down in LA, and it seems weird to just kind of do business as usual while this is going on. But I think that what No Simple Road is and what it represents, I think that, I don't know, I feel kind of like an obligation to have a little something out there for people if they need to take a break and just sit down and listen to a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need something to listen to that's a security thing a lot of the time.
Yeah, man.
And to not change the routine.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot happening out there. There's people that are living normally. Their side of town or house didn't get affected, their businesses. And then there's other people that are living in a literal disaster movie.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of like when everything happened in North Carolina. It's, so hugely devastating. People are, the water, the friggin' flood, all this
air,
stuff,
the
everything.
food, everything.
And then other people are just like, clocking in at 8 a.m. and clocking out at 5 p.m. and
yelling at the person in front of them at Starbucks to hurry up.
Yeah. And it's such a duality, but that's what we live in. We live in duality where you can have the most gorgeous house in the block where someone down the street hasn't had a house in
is living
years.
in a tent. Yeah.
Yeah.
This LA thing, I think, at least for me, it hit home because I grew up there.
Well,
our daughter's there, and our grandson,
she literally
and our
lives
son-in-law,
there.
and
your sisters,
and my sisters,
and your nieces.
Yep, and like the first area that burned is the neighborhood that I grew up in Malibu. My childhood home there is gone. The second fire that started in the Palisades is my second childhood home, gone. And then my elementary school that I went to is gone.
Yeah.
The deli, the toy store, the clothing place that I used to go to with my dad all the time, gone. It's just gone. And I mean, my brother, his mom lived up in Brentwood. Their house is
which Brentwood is now endangered.
I just looked in the preschool that I went to. That's been a preschool in Brentwood since 1941. Opened during World War II for a safe haven for deployed military kids. Is threatened. That house has been there since, was like the only thing on Sunset Boulevard for forever up in Brentwood, and that's threatened now. So yeah, and then the LA Grateful Dead community and just all of it, man. It's heavy shit. It's insane.
One, it's always heavy whenever a disaster happens, but this one being so familiar, like we know, we've driven by all these places, lived by them in our lives. I lived in Glendale as a kid, and like we were just down there last year when we went to Hollywood Bowl to see fish. And we drove all that. We were up in Topanga Canyon.
Mm-hmm. I was just there in November.
Stuff. We drove by all those waterfront Malibu houses. Like, we just saw all that. And now to see those pictures, and it's like gone.
It's devastating.
It's really devastating. I want to take an opportunity to thank everybody who reached out, checking on Sydney. We appreciate that so much. Fortunately, Sydney was in Costa Rica with her family, and she came back couple days ago, and she is moved into a new place. She's out of Topanga. So just giving a little 411 on that, because people care, and I just want to let everybody know that she's doing okay. And a lot of her friends have seen some devastation, which is really freaking sad, losing their homes or having to evacuate, and being in like Palm Springs or Joshua Tree, and then another huge portion of her friends are volunteering and bringing food to people, or toiletries, or whatever they can do, water. So, whatever you can do, good energy, good vibes, money, time, whatever you can do for LA. It's just a little, it's kind of, it's like, you're shocked already from what the world is, and then you're like shocked again.
Well, this all started with New Orleans. That what happened in New Orleans and Vegas and now LA, and it's a heavy beginning to the year, man. It's
very
a lot.
Much so.
I wanted to just take a minute. I don't know how long we're gonna go today. I wanted to just give out some info for those of you that are down in the LA area and not sure what you could do. Maybe you don't have clothes or whatever. Music Never Stopped and Golden Road Presents. If you go follow at Music Never Stopped. They are giving free new Grateful Dead merch and clothing for those affected by the LA fires. They're giving away free Grateful Dead style clothing for those affected. Items include new hoodies, sweats, custom dyed clothing, shirts, hats, and beanies. All the merch is donated and dropped off locally and not for sale. They want folks to have some brand new things that were displaced by the fire. So if you're in the LA area and you need this, send them a DM and they will get your size and ship to you for free.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's.
And we're seeing that a lot of like all the stuff, all the help pouring in now and everything. That's always that's like the flip side.
Yeah.
To see that the communities coming together and the support, and like you're saying, it's like one of Sid's one of her crew is
lost her house is gone.
Well, that, and then one of her friends too. They were clearing out a rental property that wasn't being rented to put a family in there that's been displaced and no longer has a home. They're like, making that available. Like, hey, we got this.
Well, and Airbnb is
that's
coming up too. With go ahead, baby.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of temporary housing things that are going on. 211 LA and Airbnb are offering free temporary shelter for displaced Angelenos. And if you go to 211 LA or the Airbnb website, you can apply. Also, Visit WeHo and Visit Palm Springs. Those two websites are offering discounted rates for local hotels. And then Santa Monica area hotels are promoting special rates for evacuated residents at the Fairmont Miramar Bungalows, the Gateway Hotel, the Hilton Santa Monica, Pierside Santa Monica, Regent Santa Monica Beach, Sanborn Santa Monica, Shore Hotel, Shutters on the Beach, and Viceroy Santa Monica. And then also, the Queen Mary announced its pricing rooms for fire evacuees at $189, which includes a voucher for breakfast, buffet for 2 people, and waives pet fees. Big Bear is offering evacuee lodging at deep discounted rates. You can go to the Big Bear website for that. Long Beach hotels and Santa Barbara hotels are offering discounted rates to fire victims. Planet Fitness, all the LA locations are offering first responders and displaced individuals free access to showers, locker rooms, and Wi-Fi. You don't have to have a membership. You can just go there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Lyft has activated its Lyft Up disaster response program, providing free and discounted rides. So you use the code CA Fire Life 25 for 2 rides up to $25 each. AT&T is offering people in fire damaged areas unlimited data, talk, and text through February 6th. You can go to the AT&T website for that. Verizon is waiving call, text, and data charges for customers in the wildfires areas as well. Let's see what else. T-Mobile, all the cell services, are giving up some stuff. If you need food, some of these places are giving away food. Pizza Girl, BU, Superfine Playa, Yeasty Boys, Bobby's Pizzeria, LA Sorted, Wolfgang Puck Restaurants, Mountain Mike's Pizza in Pasadena, Norm's, which is awesome. I like Norm's. It's just a comfort place for me. Agnes's Restaurant and Cheesery, Tomcat, Charcoal Venice, Augie's on Main, Din Tai Fung, Shore Bazaar, The Hideaway, and Madre Oaxacan Restaurant and Mezcaleria, which if you're displaced right now, you could probably use some mezcal. And then this is the other thing that really, like, when you see the pictures and stuff, obviously the human beings are going through hell that are down there right now. But think about if that happened with Darwin with us. Like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
With your dogs, like if they were on meds or they have a special diet or they're anxious, and now you've got this anxious, displaced, unmedicated dog.
No.
Have you ever
tried putting a cat in a cat carrier?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyhow, so here's some for those of you that have pets. Here's some resources for you if you're down there. Pasadena's Humane Wildlife Center at 361 South Pasadena Avenue. You can call the helpline at 626-344-1129. They have some resources going on. Pierce College has resources. The LA Equestrian Center, Animal Services Communication Center. You can call them at 562-940-6898. That's for South County, or 661-940-4191 for North County. And then Western Veterinary Services in Agora Hills will be offering housing for dogs and cats affected by the wildfires. And Animal Wellness Foundation is offering free housing for evacuated animals as well.
What website is this, babe? Because I think that it's really helpful for people.
This is lamagazine.com.
Okay.
Also, this is like money, if you're broke and you need help, this is how to get some help. Music Cares is vowing to help LA music community who've suffered fire damage or displacement. So you can go to the Music Cares website and see what's going on there. Seahorse Sound is offering free gear storage for musicians affected by the fires. The Record Parlor opened up its lounge for fire victims. Caveman Vintage is offering storage for belongings or vehicles in Lincoln Heights. Figs healthcare apparel brand has launched a support initiative for the local healthcare community impacted by the fires, including PPE and essential supplies, meals, and aid for the cost of childcare and more. Dr. Ariel Oren in Beverly Hills is offering free medical and surgical care for anybody who sustains burns in the LA fires. You can call 310-424-5424 for more information. And then
that's really cool.
That's insane. YMCA Downtown Ketchum is collecting water, non-perishable food, clothing, and emergency supplies to distribute through their sister YMCA chapters in affected regions. Drop off items at 401 South Hope Street in LA starting a couple of days ago. So you could do that now. And that's
just a short list. I know that there's a lot of people posting and reposting things on their social media for all kinds of different things, like the pet stuff, for donations, for finances, for ride share, like all of that. So do a little research and find out what you need to find out.
There's a lot available out there and more popping up all the time.
And I'm sure that's going to be needed.
Well, even as far out as like I saw it yesterday, even like Vegas is giving, a lot of the hotels are giving very discounted rates if you need to get out of there and you can get to Vegas, and not just LA, all the surrounding. I know San Diego down around there, they're doing a lot of stuff for people because they're close to LA and they can get out of the valley. And
didn't you tell me today that you saw some overlay?
Yeah, I saw a thing this morning. It's I forget the Instagram handle, but it's a girl in Vegas that highlights things to do in Vegas, and she had just posted a thing to give people a perspective that aren't familiar with LA and how big it is. When you see that map, it doesn't look like that much, but she overlaid the two main fires, the Palisades and the Eaton fire, over the Vegas Valley. It's almost it's like if the entire Las Vegas has burned.
Oh my God.
Is how big of an area, which gave me a better, I'm familiar with the LA area, but it's so big.
It's huge.
You see those little spots on the map. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's huge and still going.
Yeah, man.
And I think too, of course we know fire is deadly. It can burn you, whatever. But say they stop the fire, all of that air is contaminated. It's all these, poisonous gas and fucking mercury and all these kinds of different lead.
Lumbers
yeah,
and all
exactly.
kinds of things.
So it's another thing to, be mindful of and, try to wear a mask or whatever you can to do to,
Yeah, and where I've seen
safe.
things I've never thought of or heard of too. I saw one this morning. It was a couple, which I'll show you guys later. I screenshot it. It's like a 15-minute video. They saved their house. It's a trip, but they're talking about how intense the fire was with the winds, how hot it was, that a lot of the stuff coming down out of the air was like black glass.
Oh my god!
Not just embers and stuff. It was so burnt it had turned to glass.
Char.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, and they're getting it in their eyes, and people are getting cut by some of the stuff, and it's and embers the size, tree branches flying.
Oh yeah, because it was 90-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as we record this today on Sunday afternoon, the wind, the Santa Ana winds, have picked back up again today.
Oh no!
So it's
ongoing.
Yeah,
man, there's nothing to even say. It's just horrifying.
I don't want to get into any of it, but I do want to mention it. When there's a devastating event, a natural disaster, there's always some kind of conspiracy theories coming out afterwards. Even if any and all of those conspiracy theories are true, it doesn't fucking matter at the time of a disaster.
No.
When a disaster is happening, it sucks, period. Even if somebody made the disaster happen, or if it was, a secret freaking force that made it happen, it still sucks no matter what. Mm-hmm. So just be gentle out there with, what you report and what you say, because people are literally losing everything that they worked for. So like think about how expensive rent is and how to buy, like buying a home in LA.
Dude, eggs were $14.
Yeah. And so, fortunately and unfortunately, there are people that lost their homes that can afford it in LA.
Yeah. They're going to be okay.
And unfortunately, there are people in their homes that was everything that they have.
Totally.
That like couples that I was hearing of, like they've been in their home for 40 plus years in their 90s and burned down and got freaking their insurance, cut and all that. So, just be gentle with the stuff that you post out there. As far as like, conspiracy shit, it's just right now, maybe, just wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And not just conspiracy.
Hold
We're
horses.
seeing that happens a lot around this stuff too, is the
blame game.
Government, everybody involved, the finger pointing and the blame stuff. It's like,
because it's not going to change it. You know what I mean?
This is when it's a good time to practice being kind.
Yes.
Which is always a good time to practice that.
Always.
But right now,
yeah,
just fucking relax for a minute, man. Have some compassion for your fellow human beings that are going through hell. Mm-hmm. And you know what?
Give it a minute before you start talking shit.
If you're somewhere that, outside of the LA area and you want to help, I think, and you want to like give money, I think one of the best things you can do is give money to the Red Cross right now, because they're going in with FEMA and the National Guard and setting up these centers to help people have clothes and food.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like basic necessities. I was thinking about it the other day. Like,
also, like
if that happens, what about my fucking toothbrush? What about, I don't have any socks. I've been wearing the same underwear for 5 days that I've been stress sweating in. Like,
what about the people that hid money in their houses?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? You that's a normal thing that most people do. You have a private stash somewhere. So you're like, okay, for a rainy day. Well, like now it's gone,
gone.
So I don't know. I was thinking about that because I've been on socials and just listening to what's been going on, and like, even if there was mismanagement, neglect, conspiracy, you name it, it doesn't help right now. Right now, people need tenderness. They need a hand up. They need support. They need, like boots on the ground type stuff. Not,
that's
talking a bunch of
the
crap.
Boots on the ground too. That's something that it always had, they could have done better, this and that. All of the first responders down there and these firefighters, like watching the videos and like the expertise of them too, like watching they're flying like full-size airliners almost that are going and dipping, like flying right across and skimming the Pacific Ocean to pick up more water to go dump, and flying in those hills.
That's so...
And it's amazing what these people do, and they deserve everything, all the credit that they can get, because people talk about they're not doing enough. There should have been, they're
again, you're gonna the only people that are helping, you're gonna say one word about them.
Shit.
Yeah.
you have no right to say one word about how they do anything.
They're putting their lives on the line to be up there doing what they're doing. And then this morning too, I see a thing too, all these little things you don't think of. They're starting to go back in the neighborhoods, like in the Pacific Palisades, going in there, and now they're discovering like all these gas leaks and everything going on. So they're having to dig in debris trying to get to the gas shutoffs. And you're talking about that big of an area, you got power lines down, there's just so much to it, so many ripples and layers.
Mm-hmm. I was telling Apple and Ryder earlier today, I was like, okay, at this point, like, I guess the last number that I saw was 180,000 plus human beings displaced because of this, right? And then, so I was like, okay, 180,000 people, the vast majority of those folks have a job, right? A lot of them.
Because they're the homes.
They're homes. And so a lot of those jobs are gone because the place burned down, right? Or that person's not going to work tomorrow.
No.
That's the last fucking thing on their mind. So think about like the ripple through industry and like everything. I can't understand how shit like this happens, and then like you go 3 months later, and everything's just
back to not back to normal.
The
but
machine is turned back on, and it's still going again. It shows me that like human beings are incredibly resilient.
Absolutely.
Like it's fucking astounding.
It
like,
is.
The earth is scorched. There's nothing but foundations, and people are like coming together and getting in groups, like you were talking about, going and digging through the debris to shut off gas lines, and they're not even first responders or trained. They're just out there doing it.
To show up as a human being during times like this, not exclusively, but like when you start showing up for stuff like that, you're giving your neighbor the flat of water, or you're helping pull somebody out. You're looking through somebody's devastated house to find their cat or whatever. Like, this is a time to show up as a human being, you know, do what you would have wanted somebody to do.
Yeah. It's crazy to see because look, the news that we are shown is most times the worst of humanity, what we're shown.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see people come together and help each other. And even, the stories of like people personally taking donations and then taking all that stuff and dropping it off and just doing that over and over again. And that kind of stuff. It shows that people aren't fucked. You know what I mean?
No.
We really can come together and help each other. And it sucks that it takes a natural disaster or some horrific terror thing to make us feel good about each other for 5 fucking minutes. But at least it shows that it's there. You know what I mean?
I think people really do have a way of really rising above and showing their true colors in a lot of ways, especially when it's a disaster or something crazy. I think that we focus a lot on like negative stuff that people do because it's a lot, but also there's so many good people out there that will like literally give you their last $10 if you ask, or be like, sure, I'll give you a ride, or borrow my car. Like in times like this, that's kind of like the best of humanity, to be honest.
See people making sacrifices. It just made me think of when you were reading off the people giving food. I saw a video yesterday. It was like a small mom and pop pizza shop people were coming to pick up pizzas, and their delivery drivers are taking pizzas to all the first responders and showing up with like stacks of pizzas.
Hell
and
yeah.
like the firefighters like teared up almost. Like just that's not. These guys are tired and hungry and worn out, and to have somebody show up and be like, here's for the crew. And it's, and that's small businesses that are making a sacrifice. Nobody's got a ton of money when you're a small business, and they're sacrificing to help the community. It's.
When I went to go check to see what was going on with the preschool that I went to, because I knew it's in Brentwood and the Brentwood fire is going on. I saw something on their Instagram that I want to read that was really cool. Here, you guys are gonna in regards to kids and this whole thing.
Oh, okay. So it was fire related.
Yeah. Hang on.
You want us to continue going while you find
as you're
this?
looking for this thing.
Yes.
So.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, here we go. I got it. So this is something that I didn't ever think about. And in regards to this, like the world that we live in today our kids are exposed to so much because of screens everywhere, and there's no filter between like what we see and what they see. And I just remember when our kids were little thinking they only get to be kids one time. And like, I want them to not have to worry about shit. Because
for as long as they can.
Yeah, you only get that once. And so I read this and it struck me. It said, as we have been mentioning, the most important thing now is for our children to feel safe, not be exposed to the news, and know that you're taking care of them and not share your anxious feelings so that they can remain childlike and free of worry to the extent that can be accomplished in this unprecedented situation.
Sydney said that Jasper was worried
Yeah.
when they were over in Costa Rica.
Jasper was like, Grandpa, what's arson?
I mean, that's...
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, obviously we can't shield our kids from the world forever, but like
that's not what I don't think that's what that.
But while this is going on, man, like they don't need to be
shield them a
seeing
little
all the
there.
fucking gnarly shit that's going on.
But also sometimes you can't help it. You turn around and you see, one story when you had a 2-story, like that is, I don't know how good I would be able to keep that together. I think that, when you're in a disaster, you kind of like are just operate out of like, fight
Survival.
or flight. Exactly. You're surviving. And then you finally get that decompression moment and it can be devastating.
When you finally break down.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I don't think people should hold that in either.
No.
Sometimes kids can console their parents. That's a real thing. I've seen them do it with their little cute hands on the shoulder saying it's going to be okay, Mom. I've seen that. And I don't think that that's a bad thing either. No, I respect what the school said and I agree. But you know what I mean? Like families are there for each other.
And the sport of a child, it can be more powerful than like a group of adults when a kid is like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Right?
With their innocence and belief and...
Yeah, man. My heart is broken for my city that I grew up in.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we can do. I guess we're doing it by helping spread some information and talking, and that's it. That's what we can do right now. If you're down there and you have nowhere to go, there are evacuation centers. I'm sure you already know this, but the Westwood Rec Center at 1350 South Sepulveda in Westwood, you can have a small animal with you if you go there. The Richie Valens Rec Center in Laurel Canyon, Pacoima, the Pan Pacific Rec Center in 7600 Beverly Drive in LA, El Camino Real Charter High School in Woodland Hills. They also accept small animals. Pierce College over in Woodland Hills, they accept large animals. So you could bring your 50-foot boa constrictor or your horse or whatever. Pasadena Convention Center in Pasadena, the Pomona Fairplex, and the Arcadia Community Center in Arcadia. That is some shelters for y'all to go to. What?
That just made me sad to think about all the little, like, the hamsters and the geckos and the turtles.
The little one, wow. The little things you don't think of.
You can't grab that on the way out, a big old freaking terrarium or something. Yeah. Like, that's sad.
Yeah, it's wild. You know what? I really hope that this is 2025 getting it out of its system. It had to shit really bad, and this was it. And now we're gonna wipe and flush, and everything will be good for a while.
Yeah,
let's hope.
Let's be optimistic.
Yeah. Use the bidet.
Yeah.
Keep yourself
really
clean.
Optimistic.
Yeah, we love all of you, and if there's anything that we can do, if you think of something, please feel free to reach out at info@nosimpleroad.com. You can also DM me at nosimpleroad. I personally answer every DM that comes through Instagram, so you can hit us up there. If you have an idea, you're like, No Simple Road, you guys should do this to help, and let me know, because
we're down.
Yeah, we're down. And all of you that are down there, please stay safe and take care of yourselves and take care of each other, man. It's wild times that we're living in.
Yeah.
Wild times.
Mention one thing too, because I've already seen it pop up. I don't know certain group, like supporting, since our podcast is focused a lot around music in this community. There's already a lot of local artists, national artists that are doing kind of the same thing, like what's going on with North Carolina. There's fundraisers popping up. They're donating proceeds. So that's another, support your artists and stuff. There's going to be a lot of concerts with donations and stuff going towards it. And you can also help the artists. And
I think it was Philm, PHILM on Instagram. I think if you have a GoFundMe, you can send it to them and they'll post it.
They'll post it.
Yeah. So if you're,
right on.
That's really cool, man. And yeah, everybody, I don't know what else to say right now.
Well, I think that this is enough as far as like, I don't want to get into another topic after this.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think this is like enough.
If a kind of, to like an update with us instead, like a Darwin update. That's the most significant thing that's happened with us.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about Darwin a while and having people send him good energy. And
the three of us are doing good. And there's not much updates.
We're fine.
But Darwin had a vet visit.
Finally.
And he got some medications and he's able to be more of a dog again and relax.
We had no idea. Like,
what's crazy is I was talking to my boss today about it and giving her an update on Darwin, and then a couple other coworkers that have dogs came over and was listening.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was leaving today, one of the coworkers that was listening came up to me. She's like, my dog is 12 also, and not as big as Darwin, but a bigger dog. And thank you for saying that, because I feel like that could be my dog's problem too. I feel like our dog is in pain and holds it really well and is just not saying, because their dog's very anxious also. And she was asking me about CBD and other things. And I was like, look, this cocktail of meds that, we gave Darwin, it's only been a couple days, so we're still feeling it out. Like, he wet our bed and he wet the couch. So it's clearly not a perfect situation because he's needs to pee and he's
high,
too out of it to go pee. So maybe we need to, adjust it or whatever. But like, what it has done for him as far as personality and comfort in the last couple days is like,
it's like a different dog.
Having a brand new dog.
It's a trip, man.
Or having our dog back.
Yeah.
Having our old dog back.
Back to being a dog again.
Totally.
Yeah. He was in a lot of pain. And like Mel said, was just holding it really well. He got some pain meds and he got some anxiety medicine, and he just like chilling.
Yeah.
He is chilling. So,
he's doped up.
Yeah. So it's high as fuck. Thank you all out there for sending the dog, our dude, good energy out there. I believe that was part of his healing journey that's going on. And yeah, man, that's what's going on with us.
Yeah.
We just got a sick dog. Our power went out for like 4 hours today, and I was starting to get annoyed. And then I thought about what was going on in LA. I was like, oh, it's fine. I had to boil water in the garage. No big deal.
Yeah. We all had
chill the fuck out.
Similar stories.
It does. It totally like puts things in perspective when you hear and see other people are going through the most tumultuous shit in their entire life. And you're like, my power was out for 4 hours. What? So what? Go take a fucking hike. Get out of the house.
Yeah. Go for a walk, man.
Oh, you have to go buy coffee instead of make coffee. Like,
yeah. It's pretty funny. Anyway, everybody take care of each other, man. And smile at a stranger.
This is the
right now.
Perfect time to take care of each other.
Yeah. Safety first for right now down there, and hydrate. And yeah. We love all of you.
Hydrate and donate if you can to some of those places that we mentioned. And you know what? Sometimes you don't need to donate to Red Cross. Maybe your friend lost their house. Donate straight to the people that are feeling it,
If you can, yeah.
If you can, if you feel so inclined.
We love all of you.
Yes.
We love you. We'll see you on Friday. Peace.
Yeah.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So persistent, dwellers of fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
What's up, everybody? I am Finn McKenty, host of the Punk Rock MBA podcast, part of the Sound Talent Media podcast network. My podcast is all about doing what you love for a living, and every week I sit down and talk to people who have done exactly that. For example, musicians like Tommy from Between the Buried and Me, Matt from Periphery, Lil Lotus and Shinigami, among many others, photographers, artists, designers, YouTubers like Glenn Fricker and Sarah Dici, and I unpack exactly how they got to where they are today with the goal of helping you do the same. So if that sounds cool, you can listen and subscribe at soundtalentmedia.com, and I'll see you there.